Yo, what is up? This is What If Naruto Was a Shinigami. Last time we left off with Naruto whooping the shinobi's ass and actually establishing that he's a prodigy. So without further ado, let's get into this part. Now Naruto is given a place of residence. This residence is a house in the outside of the ruins. Now, while everyone else is in a mansion, there's more than enough space for Naruto to actually join in. But they don't want Naruto there. Naruto doesn't want to join there either. He's decided he'd rather keep to himself, keep his thoughts locked up in his brain, so that no one can even try to attempt to take anything away from him. He wants to just keep to himself. He doesn't need to bond with others at this point in time in his mind, especially those people, someone who he just might have to kill. So he was shown this place by the Shinigami, and as he goes there, the first thing he notices after about a few days of just training by himself and keeping in solitude, he walks into the bathroom to shower. Because they do, of course, have stuff like that. It's a pretty big house. It's got 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and of course a kitchen. So what more could he ask for? As he walks into the bathroom, he looks into the mirror. He notices that some of his hair is starting to turn white, and that his eyes are turning red. No, he's completely confused by this. He doesn't know what this is. How is this possible? So of course he's going to go and find the Shinigami and ask him himself. Shinigami, sir, what is happening in my body? It's changing. My hair, my eyes. Ah, yes, young one. Yes, basically, as you've seen, the others have already white hair, and they have red eyes. Now, if you're going to become a Shinigami, you must have the white hair and red eyes. Very similar to me. It's just something that happens. Naruto's like, really? I didn't know that. Well, I guess that makes sense. Well, I better get back to training. He's like, yes, you better. We will soon be teaching more academy classes soon. This is more or less just a break. Naruto was informed of the break. Basically, his battle took place on a break of when it would be like the academy classes. There was about a 3-week break, and there's only about 4 days left. So Naruto is going back home, and he's just doing crunches, and he's kind of thinking. He wants to take a stroll. Now he doesn't know everything about this place, but he does know that they're lost souls. By that he means bodies, like decomposed bodies, similar to zombies, but they're much more dangerous. They're got martial art capabilities, complete physical, like utter prowess, and they of course don't eat brains. They just kill. They're mindless. It's basically they're low in numbers, but they're very good for training, I guess you could say. So Naruto just, he's ready to go train. He wants to get stronger. He wants to improve upon himself, especially since he figured out he's a prodigy at this. His flames are something different, as well as everyone else's. The nether flames are easy to control for him, while everyone else struggled with it at first. So he walks out, and he's gonna, kind of just walk pretty far. It'd be meters away, miles away. He wouldn't know where the fuck he was at this point in time. He wouldn't know. He knows his way back, but he doesn't know the location he's currently at. He hears a scream. A girl's running towards his direction. She's got white hair and red eyes. Naruto immediately thinks that she's a Shinigami, but he's never recognized her. After all, he memorized all the other faces of everyone else he's going to be competing against. She trips and falls. She sprained her ankle, he can tell. She won't be able to fight in this state, and she doesn't look very strong. She looks a little dried up because no food. She must not be eating. She must not have any water. Naruto's thinking to himself. These mindless creatures, I haven't come up with a name for them yet, but these mindless creatures are starting to approach her. She's screwed, Naruto thinks. I better go help her. So he rushes in and he actually begins fighting him off pretty simply. He kicks one back, engulfing him in flames, causing him just to kind of just retreat in just fear at this point in time. They may be mindless, but they do have still instincts that cause them to leave. And he helps her up and asks her name. She looks up and her eyes are filled with tears. It's Karin. Naruto looks down. Karin, what are you doing here? She's like, I don't know. I just suddenly, like a month ago, you just appeared. I was here. I've been alone the entire time. You're the first person I've ever come across. All these others are they're mindless. I've been running the entire time. Naruto asks her, how have you been surviving? Where'd you get your food? I had to kill Afio and eat him. It was horrifying. Naruto is he kind of understands this feeling of being horrified, but he never had to eat one of these. He can't even imagine that. Can't fathom what it would be like to have to be forced to eat this. He asks her, "Are you training to become a Shinigami?" A Shinigami? A death god? No, I just appeared here. Naruto thinks to himself, this must be a mishap. The Shinigami must not have known. Oh, this motherfucker. He's a little pissed off by this, but he continues to walk back towards what would be his house. He realizes that he's gonna have to help her out. He'll ask the Shinigami what can be done for. Maybe she'll be able to get sent back to her own world. So he brings her into the house and lets her kind of rest, and then he contacts the Shinigami. The Shinigami comes in, he's like, well, I'll take her soul now. Naruto says, what? What are you talking about? You're the one who brought her here on a mishap, and you're going to take her soul? Well, she can't be very well allowed to leave now, can she? Naruto's like, why not? You know the rules, Naruto. It's the same thing for you. He's like, fine. Let her join in as a Shinigami, possibly. He's like, it'd be uneven numbers. She would have to fight someone. And then suddenly one of the females speaks up in the background. I'll fight her. She doesn't look very strong anyways. Naruto says, no. I'll fight for her. The other girl is just kind of taken aback by this. She's like, fine. I'm fine with that. I'll whoop your ass.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
And the Shinigami just agrees to this. He's like, well, if you guys are fine with it, you'll fight on her behalf, Naruto, and if you win, she's in. And Naruto's like, fine, I accept it. Now, Naruto's been slowly developing his Hellfire, or his Netherfire, to a much greater control, but it's again not mastered. He was able to beat the other guy because he got a burst of power, just from, kind of just resolve from the last fight. Suddenly walks into the arena. The girl is, of course, watching from the sideline. She doesn't want Naruto to do this, but she realizes Naruto must be much stronger, just showing how he took care of those creatures. She watches, encouraging Naruto, looking at him with anticipation, hoping he doesn't lose, because not only if he loses, they agreed that she would just take his spot. If he loses, then basically his soul is going to go down and she'll take his spot. So he's working for both of them at this point in time. So it's going to lead into the battle actually starting. The Shinigamis, of course, can count down. 3, 2, 1. Let the battle begin. Now the female shinobi rushes forward. Naruto immediately starts using his taijutsu experience to fight her off. She throws a punch. Naruto grabs her fist, pulling her towards him. Then suddenly he kicks her back. With a knee, of course. He extends his knee in towards what would be a kick, sending her flying back, very similar to a police fashion. Then he rushes forward, trying to take her off guard, but she was expecting this, flipping him over onto his back. Naruto has the wind knocked out of him. Suddenly he's feeling like he's at a big disadvantage, but he uses what would be a more grappling approach, twists her legs around, and gets her towards the floor. She kicks him back using Hellfire, or if I refer to Hellfire, just know I mean Netherfire. It's basically the same thing. It's going to turn into what would be her running towards Naruto again. They're just swapping blow for blow. Naruto's realizing that his durability is a much bigger advantage, but she does seem to have more of an understanding of everything. He's gonna lose. He can't lose. If I lose here, she'll be alone and she'll lose. She won't be able to improve herself. And not only that, I'll die. And I don't want to die. I won't die. I won't let anyone kill me. No, not now. Not ever. I will complete this. I will do this. His body's getting encased in chakra. And suddenly his power's surging. And then time slows. It just stops for about 2 seconds, but that's more than enough time for Naruto to attack. He's suddenly behind and impales the female shinobi through her chest. She coughs up blood, and Naruto just looks down at the body. Everyone's like, how did Naruto get there so fast? He was on the floor, and then suddenly he was right there. How fast is this guy? Now Naruto has just unlocked ability that no one else has ever possessed. He slowed down time to basically a standstill for such a short period of time. Not even he knows why. The Shinigami doesn't even possess this ability. Now, he does realize that Naruto is basically something similar to that, but he doesn't know how. He knows that it's possible for Shinigami to obtain new abilities, but something so different? It's the first of its kind. He's extremely astonished, and he's taken just kind of surprised. He's just astonished and more or less just really happy that he's got Naruto here. This is someone who can ease his workload. He thinks Naruto's gonna win this thing. So now, basically, this girl, Karin, is now she's just instated into what would be like one of the like new Shinigami prospects. Now she's gonna share the house with Naruto. She doesn't want to go into what would be a mansion with people that were willing to kill her. And Naruto did protect her. She'd rather live there. So Naruto's fine with that, of course. And he's gonna continue on with training. He's gotta get stronger, gotta get master his abilities. But he doesn't know how he did the time stopping ability. He hasn't been able to replicate it whatsoever. Not after that one day. He doesn't know anything. How does this work? How did I do this? All I know is I channeled some of the QB chakra into my body, and suddenly it was able to work. And then he starts talking to the QB. QB, have I... Is it true? Is it you who did that? And the QB, curious to why Naruto would talk to him, talks back. No, boy. Why would I be the one to do that? It was your abilities alone. I just gave you the extra strength to carry on. Naruto is completely astonished by this himself. So I'm that powerful, huh? Then I can do this. I'll just keep myself safe, as well as Karin, as he looks over at the fragile girl. I should train her. I should make her stronger so she doesn't... If I don't, she'll just get killed. I can't always fight on her behalf. They won't allow me to do that. It's impossible. Unless I get her stronger. So he walks over and shakes her awake. Karin, I need to train you. She looks up. I was thinking the same thing. I don't want you to fight for me anymore, Naruto. He's like, I would fight for you and I'd probably win. But the problem is he won't allow us. After all, we're going to have to fight each other one day eventually. But that's where I want to say, I won't fight you. If it comes down to that, we'll fight the Shinigami himself. She looks up with this bright smile. She's filled with admiration in her eyes. Okay, Naruto, I agree. You could tell that she's starting to just develop feelings for Naruto. And that's where I'm going to leave it off. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I'm sorry that I didn't upload yesterday. I was a little fucking pissed, tired of the whole, like, monetization thing that happened, of how I have to wait now because of some stupid shit, probably because of the humor on the channel. So, again, thank you guys for watching.